Greetings, Starfarers, and welcome to another episode of Sunless Skies. I'm Cobalt Thorium. In this episode, I don't know what we're gonna do. If I remember correctly, there was a reason why we wanted to go to... Okay, so we got this. The inscribed tinker requires assistance in locating a specific sigil in the correspondence. You have discovered the tinker's sigil. Return to the Royal Society. Okay. If I remember right, there was some reason to go down to the Home Bureau, which is Avid Horizon. Let's take another peek at this. Oh, I think we wanted to go down there for tea, didn't we? Actually, that might be kind of far out of the way. We might be able to find tea elsewhere. It's not like it's a rare resource or anything. Alright, let's go through these. Is there some way to collapse all of them? Alright. Let's go back and do this. So, Incognito Princess, she's setting up her thing. That's fine. So, here's a vote to go back to the Royal Society. Patrick Devil and Warlberry wishes to join the congregation at the Well of the Wolf. That's probably in the Blue Kingdom. We don't want to go back there right now. You've been given reason to believe that the Dismal Chamberlain, the de facto leader of the Deathless, is missing. You've learned that the Dismal Chamberlain was last seen descending the vaults beneath the Most Serene Mausoleum. Wait, you can follow him from the nave. Didn't we already do that? Okay, and all these other ones are old. Alright, let's pop back here. We want to go to the nave. Actually, before we do that, let's go to the bazaar. What can we buy here? Ministry literature, we don't really need that. Let's go back to the nave. It sounded like... Okay, so send it to the vaults to search for the Dismal Chamberlain. I feel like we already did all this stuff, but I guess we didn't. Alright, let's do it. No one seems entirely sure which of the vaults is the deepest. The footman advises you just keep going down until there's no down left. It isn't long before your legs are aching. The vaults seem to offer much more down than the footman had implied. You passed your last coffin long ago. I feel like we read this already. It seems like there's nothing else here but sawdust and... Sawdust. There's nothing else here but dust and cobwebs. There are torch brackets on the wall, but no torches. We've definitely read this. Examine the strange vault for traces of the Chamberlain. We've definitely already done this. You search for the Chamberlain, or it feels like hours to no avail. If you return with bright eyes and a cold hand around your heart... What does that mean? If you return with cold eyes and bright eyes and a cold hand around your heart. I am cold and bright-eyed, though, right? Might have to Google this and figure out what that's all about. Because I would have thought that it was the soul. Maybe a cold hand around the heart was the wraith or whatever. Isn't he sort of like a god of the cold, and his thing is his icon is a hand? Alright, well, it seems like there's nothing we can do for that, for now. So that was... this one. Chamberlain's absent. Counselor's daughter. Inconvenient aunt. Yeah, we want to go to Corellin. Oh, here's one that has to do with Skybernet. A request from the Bleak Industrialist. You have agreed to bring the Industrialist Lost Love back from the Kingdom of the Dead. There's a contact in Skybernet. Oh, Skybernet is in the Blue Kingdom. There's a lot of Blue Kingdom stuff building up. Okay. I mean, to be perfectly honest, there's a lot of Perdurance stuff. I mean, I keep saying that, but we've never found it. Maybe that's where we should be putting our focus. We could go down to the Home Bureau because it would require us to go, like, and kind of just, like, search. Maybe I should go out this way. Go around. Yeah, let's do that. Enough of this. Let's move along. So how is everybody out there? Hope you're doing alright. Hello, Dreadnought. You friendly Dreadnought, you. I love this iron star, the cracks and the blown out thing. So cool. What is that? I don't know if I want to go up there. It's just gonna give me tire. And our tire is pretty low. Alright, so the plan is we're gonna go down to the Home Bureau, we're gonna figure out what this terror is. And we'll probably launch an owl around here. I don't know. I don't know how long the range is on the owls. We might have to launch another owl around like here. Then maybe we can do down here. There's still so much place to, like, so many places here to explore. What is that noise? It sounds like there's combat going on. Hello. Alright, we'll take it. It's getting dark out here. there's something over here. Whoa, okay. Not liking that. Some kind of weird critter. Oh, what is this? Send that hell out. Hey, we got some souls. Alright. Suppose we could... Oh, so we excavate a collection of souls from the ruins. We'll probably try to hit up this other one over here. There's really nothing out here, is there? Something is chasing us. What is this place? This place is zany. Oh, these are the boats. So we're over the Sunless Sea. Was this ruined edifice beautiful once, or was it gloomy and unsettling? You excavate, yeah. In this place, that is two places, the sea remembers the sky. What is this? The Avid Horizon. Two vast winged statues guard the Avid Horizon, the doors through which Londoners passed from Neath to the wilderness. It does not open. A wooden mooring post has been hammered into the ice before the watchers, as a gesture towards a tradition from before the wilderness, from a sunless sea, when the condemned could beg for forgiveness, even on the most distant shore, so we could explore the horizon's threshold. What might you find in this bleak waste? Or we could leave. You're free to leave. Only those without such a choice remain. Might as well take a peek. Hell frozen over. This was only ever a place to pass through, never a destination. Bitter, cold rhymes every surface. A merciless wind passes without effort through even your skysuit, your flesh, your lungs. You will not stay here long. Wait, did this change? Did. Alright, so hell frozen over. Two vast winged statues guard the Avid Horizon. The guards... Okay, that's the same. But this is new. A sign has been hammered into a pillar. If you've done something that can't be forgiven, if there's no place left to run, if you would seek refuge with the gentleman, record your name and crime. It is barely legible under a thick coat of frost. We'll check the pillar for confessions. What lies beneath its frozen coat? Old and distant crimes. You pick scraps of paper from the post, a fragmentary catalogue of sin. Each describes a crime or betrayal, but nothing new to you. The London press has already chewed through these events with relish. The brutalities make for grim reading all the same. But one remorse-filled confession of murder swears it'll never hurt another person again. Perhaps that is, in some way, a comfort. Alright. Avid Horizon. Oh, hello. Whoa, no. That's bad news. Okay. I'm gonna get to the bureau as quickly as possible. Jeez. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Jeez. Alright, an outbreak of heart sickness. Wait. Did I not make it? What is this? A mysterious outbreak of nostalgia spreading through your crew. I hate this. Okay, so I would consider this a bug. When you're this close to a port, you should shut off the random events. Because we are literally being towed into port right now. And this is not the first time that this has happened. This has happened several times now. Where it's an automated sequence, and yet you're still getting random events. It should not happen. It should not happen. It's a bug. Okay, move on. I mean, I thought we were in port. Like, alright, whatever. Mysterious outbreak of nostalgia spreading through your crew. Frequently, they stop work and stare away into the misty remembrance. They gather during the evenings to meditate on times gone by and debate the ways in which the past is superior to the present. The air is full of sighs. We could hold the compulsory knees up. Hold the compulsory knees up. I don't know what that means. Break out the brandy, strings and the fiddles, sit with the most afflicted, and listen to the tales of times past. It won't help, but you might learn something. So that might give us a tale of terror. I'm not going to do that. Succumb and right. Nostalgia is the fuel of melancholy, and melancholy is a fruitful muse. Perhaps you'll be inspired. So this one I feel like will reduce terror if we succeed. Alright. A lifting of spirits. The crew attend reluctantly, but once the brandy has been passed around, you manage to get them telling tales of their recent adventures, of their narrow escapes and their small triumphs. It's still reminiscent, but at least it's on a fresher fare than the rose-hued days of their youth. We've lost one supplies, terror's fallen, and we have a sky story. Woohoo. One thing that's kind of funny is that they use brandy a lot. I suppose that they do that because there's brandy is like what the Navy would always have in their medicine hold. But if you're being steampunk, I would say that gin is probably a better beverage. So, I mean, obviously you could do absinthe, but like absinthe is like, you know, kind of expensive and kind of high-end and extreme. Gin would be sort of like the pauper's version of absinthe. It would be like the thing that you'd be most likely to drink just because of its abundance. I mean, it's the beverage of prostitutes, right? Alright. Home office. Compile report. I don't think that's changed. Alright. Entertain a request from the acting senior probator. He's watching you from behind a desk and biting his lower lip. Clearly he has something on his mind. He does not look happy. This seems interesting. Okay. Let's try that. A regrettable duty. So good you're here, Captain. He clasps your hand. His skin is cold. I've been issued an imperial pardon from London for one of your detainees here. He looks at the three nearest guests of the Home Office, who are following the conversation intently. Just one mind. Procure demands that someone cannot be pardoned without an independent witness vouching for them. It would be highly inappropriate for me to do so. Gives you a beseeching look. If you would help, do speak to them. Those three. Return to me when you've made your choice. Okay, the acting senior probator wants your help in pardoning a detainee. Okay. Yeah, let's deal with the probator's request, I guess. We could interview the detainees and follow up on their stories before making a decision. 3 detainees, singled out by the acting senior probator, have taken over one of the interview rooms. The aristocrat is contorted like a contented cat over a rumpled armchair. The courtier sits on the windowsill, a cup of tea rattling in her hands, and the nun occupies a stiff-backed chair and is reading something decidedly ungodly. That's interesting, okay. You may interview the detainees and make your judgment at your leisure. You could, of course, make your decision without interviewing them, but that will render your choice somewhat arbitrary. Perhaps that's in keeping with the spirit of this place. Alright, courtier, aristocrat, nun. Interview the former courtier. Brilliant, magnetic, merciless, infuriating. Either her personality or her politics have kept her on Her Majesty's list of undesirables. I already don't like this character. When you start out just filling it with compliments, I automatically assume that either you're buttering me up for something, or that this is a Mary Sue. So let's... Friends in high places. She shuts a small hand mirror as you approach, graying. I had a lovely mane when I arrived here. Red as June, they used to say. I was hoping to see the suns, but I suppose the place hasn't forgotten. An MP I am acquainted with and promised it was all water under the bridge. Why is this so badly written? The Pardoner's Tale. Go to the floating parliament and speak to the courtier's friend. Okay. We'll interview the handsome aristocrat. He's draped listlessly over a faded chair, occasionally playing with his hair. See, this automatically, I feel a bit of contempt from the writer. I feel like this is a character that I'm not... I mean, it's not overtly bad, but it's not... It feels like a character I'm not really supposed to like, and that actually makes me like them more. A question of birthright. He summons a dazzling smile as you approach. Oh, at last. My captain. May I call you my captain? He does not wait for a response. It's been a dreadful mix-up. I had a twin brother in London, you see. Terrible sort. Rather ruined my reputation with Her Majesty. Partner's Tale. Go to London and seek out the aristocrat's brother. See, I already like him better, even though he's kind of an assuming prat. Interview the nun. Surely she shouldn't be here. She lights another cigarette as you watch her. Okay, so she's like full of sin, right? I mean, she was reading an ungodly book. I assume that means, well, I mean, I suppose it could mean that it's just something that's not religious, but ungodly sounds more like it's, I don't know, maybe a romance novel or something. Waiting sisters. She looks down at her cigarette, at you, and sighs. If I could have gone home by now, I would have. Jeez, this voice. Nothing worth this much bitchy waiting? Bloody waiting. Okay. Let's try this again. She looks down at her cigarette, at you, and sighs. If I could have gone home by now, I would have. Nothing's worth this much bloody waiting. Pardon my imperial Nice with the Y, I like that. Was going to stay at a covenant in the mausoleum, but that's been bloodied now? I guess so. I don't know. Partner's Tale, the most serene mausoleum. Find the covenant nun. To find the covenant the nun was traveling to. Okay. Well, this all seems very interesting. So the options are: decide in favor of the courtier. Her spirits might recover if she leaves this place. Decide in favor of the aristocrat. Perhaps he's telling the truth. Decide in favor of the nun. She has somewhere to be, and besides, she's a lady of the cloth. Decide to pardon no one. You won't choose one over the rest. This might be a principled stand, assuming you care at all. No one will receive a pardon, all will remain here, or can defer this decision for now. Come back to this, the detainees aren't going anywhere anyway. So I'm going to do that because we're going to go and inquire about all these different places. So that's the probator's request. Let's take tea. There's always time for tea here. The Home Office supplements its meager funds with a haphazard tea room for the occasional visitor. If I remember it, we have to buy 2 teas here, too. A good brew. Steeped and stewed. The tea has lingered in the Home Office for a very long time. I believe that we've read that before, so we're just going to continue. We can inquire about the sea. Oh, I suspect this hasn't changed. I think it's... yeah, I don't think it's changed. Let's talk to the Prudent Observer. Once a brilliant astronomer of the Royal Society, now consigned here in his dotage, watches the gate. I don't like having more terror. I like that we didn't have terror. Okay. I think that's the same. So, probator's request. Yeah, okay, we finished everything in here. Perhaps not. The Market of Truth. This is new. Cults from the depths of the quiet sea beneath the Home Office have established a stall by the docks. Oh, we can buy a cage catch. Pretty amazing, actually. The cults from the depths of the quiet sea beneath the Home Office have established a stall by the docks. Here they sell their philosophies and the curious catches from the glassy waters. It's hard to tell which more offends the ministry's sensibilities. We could listen to the preacher. Hardship, sorrow, truth. A displeased cultist shouts, embrace betrayal, slip into the comfort of obscurity. Let's take a listen at this person. The detainees of the Home Office have no time for their prattle. The preacher shuffles off in a hail of cheery insults and the occasional thrown rock. I like that. Oh, we can't buy a cage catch now? That's too bad. Okay, so that's an either or. Buy unseasoned hours. Probably worth it. Really stock up, but we should probably go to the hungry... Oh, yeah, that's right. We have to get 2 of these, right? Let's just double check that, make sure. Where would that be? It would be here. 2 caddies of dried tea. So that'll give us 3 stockpile of supplies. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to the bazaar, grab 3. Let's grab 2, so we have 1 extra storage. Is that it? Is that really all we had to do here? Well, we did pick up this quest, which is kind of nice. I really want to know what to do with this. While we're here, let's talk to the Fortunate Navigator. Oh, what is this? The Navigator is rarely in his cabin. He is popular with the crew, and card games and drinking sessions occur spontaneously in his presence. He is, of course, never the instigator. You can get to know the Fortunate Navigator. He often recounts escapades from his last engine, but rarely shares anything from before that. Perhaps a quiet cup of tea will draw him out, or he could converse with the Fortunate Navigator. It's important to keep an eye on the well-being of your crew, starting with your first officer. Well, let's talk to him first, and then we'll bribe him with tea later. He says, "I'm settling in nicely, thank you, Captain. You've got a good crew here, and a sharp one. The Navigator has visited every crew member at the station." No. We're going to talk to you again, and we're going to bribe you with tea, because we can get more tea here. Quiet appreciation. He clears his desk for the tea set. By sweeping papers to the floor. "I'll tidy up afterwards." The condition of his cabin casts doubt on that. "I grew up a servant of the Eagle Khan's ambassador to London. His son, Atlan, befriended me. We'd climb out the attic window to race the urchins together." A wistful note enters his voice. "We never won." The Navigator trickles a spoonful of sugar into his cup, then another. "Can we stop at London?" He stirs his tea. "Atlan died. I couldn't even be at the funeral. I wanted to say goodbye. But I'll need to speak with his parents first." Alright. Well, we can always buy more tea here, so we might as well. I bet a lot of these characters I can bribe with tea. So this person needs honey. This person needs... well, I mean, he's got his own quest, so... What did we end up doing with this character? We're invited. Suggestion. Okay. Nothing really to do there. Let's go to the chief engineer. "You can usually be found in good spirits and good company, gambling, laughing, playing a tune. Failing that, you'll be deep in conversation with some cornered crew member or other. Whizzing about them, quizzing them about their personal history, with every sign of sincere interest. If left alone, he grows restless. He sleeps late and rises early." Wait, oh, interesting. He sleeps late and rises early. So... I don't know, maybe this is an Americanism, but sleeping late and rising early are antonyms. I suppose you could go to bed late, and maybe that's what... I assume that that's what they mean here. But sleeps late, like, means like sleeping in. So he sleeps late and rises early. He's to be among the crew once more. That's probably an Americanism. The sleeping late. Swap stories with the vagabond. He's an inexhaustible geyser of unlikely anecdotes. Or could ask him to play you a tune. Before you've finished your sentence, the vagabond is already tucking the fiddle under his bearded chin. "Want me to break your heart?" he asks. Go for that. Elegy. The vagabond's fiddle is scuffed and scratched. It looks like it's been broken several times, and pieced back together inexpertly. And yet, the tune which he coaxes from it is a soaring, searing, soul-stinging lament. It reminds you of precious things you've nearly forgotten, and raw things you'd rather forget. By the time the vagabond is finished, he has tears in his eyes, and so do half the crew. The silence rings like a bell, and then the vagabond laughs, and the spell is broken. All right, let's swap some stories. Those who wander. The vagabond's stories often feature larger-than-life characters from his loose community of vagabonds. People with names like Sooty Jim or Chimney Kid, and who collectively call themselves Skylarks. They hitch rides on locomotives, sometimes without permission, and scrounge a living from port to port. "I'm their king," says the vagabond without humility. "I taught half of 'em how to tie a bindle." He pauses, sipping from his flask. "We hold monthly gatherings at Port Haven. You should accompany me to the next one. You'll never meet a more interesting bundle of folks." Costs us 3 sky stories, but we have a mission now to accompany the vagabond on a visit to his fellow Skylarks on Port Haven. I feel like we should have introduced ourselves to these characters, to all of these characters. This probably won't change. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk to the chief engineer. The incautious driver. The driver has no tolerance for uneventful voyages. When not on duty, they stare through the stained glass windows as if willing excitement to ride on a wave of disaster. When they take the wheel, the rest of the crew grip in the nearest available supports and whisper quiet prayers to various gods. We can gamble with the incautious driver. Rumors not intended for your ears suggest the driver is running an illicit poker game on the hold. We can spare 25 sovereigns. Caught in the act. You enter the hold and find the game well underway. The driver sits cross-legged in front of a pile of freshly won sovereigns and 3 newly impoverished members of the crew. A stoker angrily throws an expensive-looking watch into the pile of winnings and departs in a fury. The driver looks up. "Madam, care to make a wager?" The driver deals the cards between the players. The cook and the crewman, whose names you can't place at the moment, watch each other with barely disguised suspicion. Behind you, a small crowd gathers to see their captain's coin. You place your bets and prepare to play. It looks like we have very poor odds here. Well, not very poor, but we'll give it a try. A winning hand. You spread your cards out. The driver plays with an instinct rather than a strategy, betting everything on what turns out to be a terrible hand. Your luck is stronger. An entire royal succession stares up from the table. The other competitors can only grumble as you claim the pot. "I hear you used to be a test driver," says the quartermaster. The driver nods. "You'd never have thought of it. As a child, I loved my trains. Very ordered. A very safe little space where they could go around and around, and there's nothing that could go wrong. It was only until after the crash that I realized I needed more. I suppose surviving that taught me that there was more to living than simply being alive." Another round? Let's try one more. You throw your cards down, not expecting to win. You are not disappointed. The driver barely looks at their cards before going all in, claiming the pot with nothing more than a pair of aces. The other players glare sullenly, regretting their hesitation. "Wait, you're a stainrod as in stainrod, leadbeater and stainrod?" demands the crewman. "And you're still taking coin out of our pockets?" The driver shrugs. "Black sheep of the family," We don't talk much. Not since the accident. Mother didn't approve of my new career, and father, he's... well, anyway. They shuffle the cards, smiling with confidence. Never bet what you can't afford to lose. Alright. Well, we got one of each, so I suppose maybe that's it. The driver deals the cards between the players. The cook and the crewman, whose names you can't place at the moment, watch each other. Okay, we've read that before. So I guess you can only play 2 games. The remaining crew... Wait, the remaining crew around the circle relax as you stand to leave. The driver shuffles the cards, ready to begin the next round. This distraction is completely inappropriate, or the crew needs a break. It's harmless enough. It's probably harmless enough. We'll just let it keep going. The driver nods to you, idly scratching an ear. Just for a moment, you spot something green winding around their finger. Learning about the incautious driver. You're learning more about the incautious driver. Okay, this is much more interesting than I thought. Alright, let's converse with the incautious driver. Keep scratching their ears, even while driving. Nervous tick? Perhaps a sickness that might spread among the crew? What? Oh, yes. The driver scratches again. It's nothing. Just a little earache, I'm sure. It comes and goes. Their knee trembles with the frustration of being pulled away from the wheel for even this short conversation. See, all fine now. We could recommend visiting a doctor. Health of the crew is paramount. You'd order a visit to the doctor. The efficiency of your crew cannot allow it to slide, or can leave it for now. As long as it doesn't affect their work, it's none of your concern. I'm concerned. Not necessary. The driver protests, scratching at their ear with renewed force. A look of pain flashes over their face for a moment. Perhaps... my family knows a specialist in New Winchester. I think Father owns the building. I think I can call in a favor. Learning about the incautious driver. You're learning about the incautious driver. Why is this still here? Alright. It's the same. We can do a secondment. Listen to the excuse me, driver's suggestion. Recently they've been roaming the corridors in your engine, whistling and getting in the way. Is there something I want? An idle fancy. The driver blinks. Can't keep anything from you. I see. I've been feeling a bit on edge. I would like to make myself useful if I can. There's races at the Royal Society. Maybe we could go there, and you could drop me off for a bit. I could make us both a bit of money. They take out a coin and flip it in the air. It comes down on heads. Just a thought, anyway. The driver will join the Rochester Club and take part in the races and generate winnings while you're on... for you while on secondment. Well, we can do that. But I'd rather figure out what's going on with New Winchester with the ear scratching thing. So we'll do that first. Now I guess we're going to talk to the mascot. Your Blemigan Voyager perches on the back of the chair behind the bridge. Perches on the back of a chair in the bridge. Is gazing through one of the stained glass windows. Is it bored? Awestruck? Searching for something? You can prod your Blemigan. Its focus is elsewhere. You are sure to startle it. Just as your hand closes on the Blemigan, it reaches a tendril out and gently pats your arm away. None of that conveys. It hasn't even turned to face you. That's funny. Alright, let's take a pet on the pooch here. It stares at you, drooling with love. When you meet its gaze, its vast tail wags, dusting your wash things from the sink to the floor. Okay. Pat the dog. Who's a good dog? Clumsy Joy. If goodness requires that things are not destroyed in this creature's wake, this dog is probably not a good dog. Nevertheless, merely asking the question causes it to ascend into a riot of joy. Your slippers will never be the same again, but it's a rare sight to see something in the high wilderness so innocent and happy. Alright. So we met all of our characters. We should probably start, I don't know, doing some mission-y stuff. But we do have some missions that we didn't have before. I kind of want to get back to London and pick up our princess there, because she might have a mission. I didn't know you could do all that stuff. Now look at all this extra stuff. A lot of it's very reach based, and I kind of wish that I had done them before now. Alright, so what are we gonna do? All this stuff is reach based. That's reach based. I don't really know what to do about these two. Oh, I have to go to Perdurance. Yeah, we got the work orders of T. You know, there's not that much left to do in London without Perdurance. Or Albion without Perdurance. I kind of want to check this out. So, well... It's probably actually better to go down here. Let's go down here, and then we'll come up back to London and sort of strategize, I guess. Actually, where do we think this place is? Could be here. I mean, it could be here, but it seems unlikely. It's not a big enough patch. I should go here. Alright, we'll go down and explore in here, and then we'll shoot up to London, I guess. But actually, this episode's getting a bit long in the tooth, so... let's wrap it up here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. We'll head up to London and do this exploration. And, yeah, then we'll continue on and see if we can find this stupid Perdurance place that just seems to be eluding us forever. So, at least in this episode, we kind of met the crew. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you have, please like, maybe comment, maybe subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.